Hello everyone, my name is Yancy. Today I'd like to talk about my experience of living in Germany, especially the differences between Germany and the US. So if you're planning to study abroad or work and travel, or are simply curious about how life looks like here in Germany, then stick around. Well, first, a little bit about myself. I was born in Qingdao, which is a coastal city in China and used to be a German colony about 100 years ago. That's why I'm always fascinated about German culture. And then in 2010, I moved to Boston. After living there for about 6 years, I wanted to have a change. And then I decided to move to Germany because that's something that I always wanted to do. So now I've been living in Cologne about 1.5 years already. Everything you will see in this video is based on my experience in Cologne, the city only. So other cities like Berlin or Hamburg, they might be a bit different. And also because I'm Asian and Chinese, so there might be some Chinese perspectives in there as well. But still, I hope this could be some useful reference for you. Most people here in Cologne live in apartment buildings, which has 4 to 5 floors. And in the basement, you will find the locker rooms, washing machines, but no dryers. People like to dry their laundries on a drying rack and simply put them outside, which I find actually pretty good. You know, it's natural without chemicals. What I find very difficult is actually to find a place first. As you know, Germany is attracting more and more immigrants these days, and it's getting really difficult to simply rent a place. I remember before I moved here, I checked out all the websites I could find, the Gazoo and some other platforms, and I probably sent over 100 emails and I got only 1 to 2 responses. And I need to make decision very quickly because those places, they go pretty fast. So that was a very tough time. But the good thing is the rent in Cologne is so much more affordable than that in Boston. I would say you pay half the price and get a similar kind of accommodation. So I guess it's worth the effort. But if you really plan to move here, definitely start hunting for a place as early as possible. And if you get any local friends, definitely get in contact with them. And also what I find useful is to actually move in with a local person because they can help you with all the account opening, you know, this internet account and all the contract and lease something. So if your German is not good enough yet, that can save you a lot of work. If you like pastry, and then Germany is definitely a paradise for you. German bakery is the best in the world. And if you find bakeries everywhere on the street, every block, every corner, and they have so many varieties of pastries or sandwiches and anything that you can imagine. And they open very early and then also close pretty late at night. And they also serve pretty good coffee and mostly Italian style espresso. The cup is pretty small though. You probably need 2 or 3, but they're really tasty. Most German bread are pretty hard, and they also have those kind of whole wheat condensed bread and super heavy. You will probably need some time to get used to. You will also find all kinds of restaurants here in Germany, different cuisines. But unlike US, East Asian food are not that quite popular. A lot of people, they don't even know what kimchi or dim sum banh mi's are. But you will find amazing Turkish or Middle Eastern food here. Noodles and kebab, falafel, and they're just amazing. And they're everywhere and very affordable. I guess that can compensate a little bit. If you do miss some Asian taste, you can buy some products from some Asian market, but they're super small, pretty much just like a corner store, a convenience store. Unfortunately, they don't have H Mart, they don't have Super 88, they don't have big Asian chains here. talking about shopping, you can do grocery shopping at supermarket. Even though they're called supermarket, they're actually pretty small. Most of them are smaller than CVS or Walgreens in the States. But you can find fresh produce and food and even cleaning products in there. I find the vegetable and fruit here are very organic looking. I never really tested, but they look natural to me. They don't have those big strawberries and seedless big grapes as that in the US, which looks kind of plasticky. And here also lots of fruit and vegetable, they're seasonal. So they don't really have it all year long. One vegetable that I couldn't find, and that is kale. They do have that, but only around October or November, and they put it in the fridge. But if you want a fresh kale, I myself want to make some smoothies out of that or salad, then you may want to consider growing them yourself. Another thing that is a little confusing is where they put egg. They don't put them in the fridge. They put them outside, somewhere near milk, I would say. Oh yes, milk also. They don't put milk into the fridge either. Some are, but most milk they don't. But what you can find easily is drinks, alcoholic drinks. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You just buy them as buying a beverage, buying a Coke something, and they don't card you at all. And you can also just drink it on the street. You don't need to cover that. As for payment in supermarket, most of them don't take credit card. They take either cash or Giro card, which is like local bank issued cash card. Apple Pay or Android Pay, they're not available at all. That is a kind of inconvenient, and also they don't have a lot of self-checkout, so a lot of time you have to just wait in line. And also, it's better for you to bring your own bag, or you will be charged extra for purchasing a plastic bag or paper bag. A lot of plastic bottled beverage you buy, Coke or water, and you can return those bottles to a big machine outside or inside of the supermarket and to get a 25-cent back. They also have a store called DM, which is kind of similar to CVS, but it's not a pharmacy. They only have cleaning products, or shampoos and stuff like that. If you want to get a medicine, you need to go to a pharmacy. The good thing about Germany though is if you have a prescription, and those medicines mostly are free. Well, it's not totally free because it's included in your insurance, but still you feel good, you don't pay anything and just walk out with your medicine without paying a penny. Same with doctor visiting, most of them are free, but you need to make an appointment as early as possible because it's kind of free, it's still included in your insurance. That's why doctors always get a very full schedule. If you want to shop for other things, Cologne is just like any other international cities with international brands everywhere. There are some American brands they don't really have, so I couldn't find a Banana Republic, I couldn't find a Loft, but they do have some other very good European brands. What is tricky is actually the size. For example, my shoe size is 8 in the States. Here is somewhat between 38 and 39, which is hard to find. So oftentimes I just try both sizes and see if it might fit. And the clothing size is also kind of different. I wear size 6 or size small in the States. And here it can be, sometimes it's medium and sometimes it's 36, sometimes it's 38. Another thing you need to remember is all the stores are closed on Sundays, except for one thing, bakeries. Yeah, as I said, German bakery is the best. The The German train system is pretty well known in the world, and yes, it is very convenient and super expensive. They have different train systems, underground, regional trains, speed trains, and ICE super fast trains, and they can take you pretty much everywhere, but not as punctual as you would expect. Yeah, from my experience, I used to commute from Düsseldorf to Cologne every day, and every day it's probably delayed for 5 to 10 minutes. So not too much a big deal, but sometimes it can be super bad, like even 2 hours or something. So if you have to rely on public transportation, it's better sometimes to have plan B. Germany is also known for cars, and yes, you will find great cars like BMW, Mercedes, and Porsche very often on the street. But more and more German people are actually biking now, and they also have special lanes for bikers on the sidewalks. So when you walk on the street, pay attention if you're walking on the right ways. You don't want to get bumped by bikers. I don't know about other German cities, but here in Cologne, there's no Uber, there's no Lyft. The only app that works here is called My Taxi, but it's like any regular taxi. Good thing is, most of them are Mercedes. When they mean nightlife, they mean it. They start very late. So, you know, in US, a lot of clubs close at 2 o'clock. But 2 o'clock is actually the starting time here. A lot of clubs, they open at, I would say 11 o'clock something, but most people come at 1 or 2 o'clock, and they party all the way to 5 o'clock the next morning. You will also find all kinds of different clubs and bars here. They have German traditional music, what they call Schlager. They also have, you know, a Latino or techno and everything that, you know, is popular in the world. As for dress code, there is basically none. So not like in the US, you know, you go to a club, you see all the girls dressed up very nicely with high heels and those shining dresses. But here, nobody cared. Actually, even at work, I mean, I have worked for some startups here and also big corporate, and there's no dress code at all. It's like casual Friday every day. Something that might be different from what you expected, because you know, people always think European people are very, stylish and dress up, but not in Germany, not in Cologne, I would say. I also find more people smoking here than that in America, and oftentimes when I just get off the train station or some public places, and there's a lot of people just smoking there, that's kind of like a war zone to me. And you will also see a lot of cigarette advertisements on the street. They do say, smoking is toxic, but still advertise young people, having fun smoking, which I've never seen my whole life. If you like movies, then it might be kind of inconvenient here, because in Cologne, you don't find a movie theater that playing English movies. Even there are some like American movies, they are dubbed in German, so you won't understand. And they don't have English subtitles, so what you can do, either Netflix, that's still available here, or study German. Alright, that's all what I can think of right now, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I will be very happy to answer you. Okay, thank you very much and see you next time.